The book of Proverbs contains timeless truth and wisdom that applies to everyday living. Reading just one chapter of Proverbs per day can ground our hearts and minds in godly understanding while shaping our actions and attitudes. As we embark on this journey through Proverbs as a daily devotional, may our hearts be open and responsive to the instruction that leads to righteous, flourishing lives. We begin with chapter 1 in the New King James Bible, the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. To understand a proverb and an enigma, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother. For they will be a graceful ornament on your head and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, "Come with us," let us lie in wait to shed blood. Let us lurk secretly for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them alive like Sheol, and whole. Like those who go down to the pit, we shall find all kinds of precious possessions. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in your lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Keep your foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. Surely, in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. But they lie in wait for their own blood. They lurk secretly for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone who is greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. Wisdom calls aloud outside. She raises her voice in the open squares. She cries out in the chief concourses, at the openings of the gates in the city. She speaks her words. How long, you simple ones? Will you love simplicity? For scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn at my rebuke. Surely I will pour out my spirit on you. I will make my words known to you. Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no one regarded. Because you disdained all my counsel and would have none of my rebuke. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your terror comes. When your terror comes like a storm, and your destruction comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. Then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me. Because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would have none of my counsel and despise my every rebuke. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their own way and be filled to the full with their own fancies. For the turning away of the simple will slay them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will dwell safely and will be secure without fear of evil. This opening chapter establishes the themes and purpose of the book of Proverbs. Verses 1 through 7 provide the framework, attaining wisdom, discipline, understanding, prudence, and fear of the Lord through heeding the Proverbs and living righteous. Starting in verse 8, there's an extended fatherly exhortation to embrace wisdom's reproof. Instead of sinning by joining violent schemers, emphasizing how wisdom rescues us from deadly ways and fate. The chapter concludes with personified wisdom crying out in public for people to turn from complacency and heed correction that leads to security. Overall, its message is choosing wisdom and righteousness versus complacency, pride, and violence. Applying such teaching allows our lives to increasingly exhibit good spiritual fruit.